Hello, beautiful souls. Thank you for tuning in. I'm hoping you're doing great. Um, this is the podcast called The Night Raven. Whether you're watching it on YouTube or you're just listening to it, I want to welcome you. I've had previous shows, and if you watched one of the previous shows, you know kind of who I am and what this podcast is all about. But basically, this podcast is all about everything metaphysical. Okay, I love everything that's metaphysical, mystic, mysterious. I will dive into it over the next couple of shows. So, if you've seen a show before, you know I've always had either a friend or a guest on the podcast, and we talked about anything metaphysical or whatever their specialty was. I will still continue to do so, but Spirit has called me to have a few solo shows here and there, or maybe even not just a few, but maybe a few more over in the future. And so here I am. This is my first one just by myself. Um, if you know who I am, I don't have to introduce myself, but if it's the first time for you to tune in, or if you just came across this podcast, I want to introduce myself a little. My name is Bettina. I was born and raised in Germany, and I currently live in the beautiful Midwest of the United States. I'm also an Akashic Records reader, practitioner, and I'm also a certified teacher. So I teach people how to read the Akashic Records. If you don't know what the Akashic Records are, I will probably get into this in a future show. But basically, the Akashic Records is everything there ever was, is, and will be. It's the universal knowledge of everything. And that's what we tap into, and we draw down the information for people who want a reading. About 6 months ago, I did undergo, I wouldn't say a transformation, but definitely a download. I would say it was a transformation. I now channel or work with the Seraphim. So the Seraphim are angels, and they're the highest order of angels, right next to Source or right under Source. So in my future or in my solo shows, I will pull cards. I will tap into the collective of what the Akashic Records want us to know. I will tap into what the Seraphim angels want us to know. So I will bring messages, inspirations, and everything else that Spirit wants me to do. So and that's kind of what I have going on in my solo shows. Before I will pull some cards or get into the messages, I just want to acknowledge something. If you are a light worker, I know you're probably hurting. We're all going through a tough time in this world right now. Um, we're living in a strange world, but also still a good world. This world is good. We live in strange and holy times at the same time because everywhere we look, something's breaking. Systems that once felt solid are cracking, and institutions we were told to trust are revealing their shadows. People are exhausted, they're anxious, they're angry and grieving. But you know what? Even in all of that, we're also awakening. There's a sense in the air, and it's a collective feeling of something is not right. It's not just what we see and hear in the news. It's really a feeling, a collective feeling. But there's also a deep whisper, and that is that something new is being born. Just think of it as, the phoenix. Something has to burn and burn to ashes before it can be rebuilt to something new and beautiful. And I believe personally, this is what we're going through right now. The world is literally on fire. But once it burns to ashes, we as the light worker and the good people of this world, let's rebuild this world the way we would like to have it, with universal love and kindness and everything good that we want in it. because this isn't just political, and it's not just economical, and it's not just social, it's spiritual. We're watching an old paradigm die in real time. This is history in the making. This is not just stories we hear from our grandparents where they had to live through a war or a depression. We're going through historical events in real time. This is what we're witnessing. Patriarchy, scarcity, fear-based control, and religious guilt, generational trauma, all of that is being dragged into the light. And the light is uncomfortable. It burns and it exposes. I think we were conditioned to live in the dark for so long that we don't even remember what it's like to be in the light. So that's why it is so uncomfortable. But we're digging our way out of it. Okay, this is real time history in the making where we're going through a shift, and we're living it right now. And no wonder people are so hurt and uncomfortable. And in the middle of this, here's the part that no one really talks about it enough. Okay. So many of us are being called to remember who we really are, not who we were to be, or not who we were told to be, not who we had to be to survive, but who we were before this world told us to shrink. Because believe me, the programming told us to shrink. We don't even know how much we did shrink in order to fit or survive in this world. So just know that I see you. There are all the light workers out there. We see you, and we all feel the same. We all feel exhausted and tired and hurting. But know, if you're out there feeling it, you're not alone. You're not alone. I want to give you a little personal story. Just a few days ago, I met a really good friend of mine just to share a meal and to share some thoughts. And that person was really almost depressed and going through a bad or a rough time. And when that person told me why they connected with me, I felt so honored to hear the answer. And what they said was that they needed a fix of something good or kind in order to get them through the next few days. And I felt very honored to hear that they felt like that I was able to provide that. And I'm not saying that I'm not hurting. I'm a light worker, and I can feel the stress, and I can feel the burden, I can feel the weight of this world. And once again, everywhere we look, something is breaking, and we don't even know anymore, what to fix first. But once again, no, you're not alone. You're not alone. And it is really about let it burn to ashes. Let it burn like the phoenix burns to ashes, and we will rebuild. We will rebuild this world. We will rebuild a kinder world. And let spirit help us. At least that's kind of what I will do. I will let spirit help me guide whoever wants to hear in my show to help rebuild a kinder world. I'm going to pull a few cards and see what spirit has for the collective today. So if it resonates with you, it's meant for you. Okay, but usually spirit or messages from spirit are meant to uplift. So what I'm getting here is the great teacher. Learn from spiritual experiences. And I think that's very funny that we have this card, because what we're going through right now is a spiritual experience. It's what I just talked about. It's not about a punishment. It's not a karma. It's a spiritual shift we're going through right now at this moment. It elevates us. We're going from 4D into a 5 dimension And a 5-dimensional spiritual being is all about, and I don't claim to know everything, but what I'm hearing from spirit right now is that it's all about seeing things from a different angle. I know things are not optimal and we see and hear bad things in the news, but it is our job to put the light towards it and try to rebuild a new planet. Maybe not a new planet, but a new collective, a new consciousness on this planet. So, here's the great teacher. All the experiences you have, whether they're good or bad, let that guide you and learn from that. Because there's something in each experience. Let me pull another one and see what's coming up. We're all spiritual beings. You know, we're all here to learn a lesson. We're all here to help in one way or another. So let's see. So this is, again, it's not, you can't make this up, honestly. It's being the card is called. Okay? If you can see this, called. Soul gifts and training. It is time to step up. What did we just talk about? We are being trained in our spiritual experiences here in this realm, on this planet, in this time where everything seems to break and fall apart. This is our training. Okay? You are being called to step up. And if you're feeling overwhelmed or burdened or in pain, just know you're not alone. Reach out to your community, your spiritual community. There's always somebody there who wants to help you, who wants to uplift you. Reach out. I mean, these cards, I know some people say, oh, they're just cards. But you know what? I draw them with my energy, and I draw them with the energy that I'm feeling from all of you, all the listeners and viewers. So it's a message for the collective, and really spirit wants you to know you're not alone. This is your training, and all the experiences you have is your teacher. And I know on a soul level, we know that. And I know that sometimes our ego, our human body, our human thinking comes through and wants to drag us down. And it's really important to not let that happen. And just, I pulled another card, and this card is called the Magic Guardian. Okay. It says, unlock the magic within. And once again, it goes right with the message we had today. Your magic is within yourself. It is who you are on a soul level. It's not about things are not happening to you. Everything on this planet, everything in this lifetime is happening for you. No matter how bad the experience is, because it will be a teacher for you. It will teach you and train you for what you need to know. The other card that I pulled is the breath of the cosmos. My will to thy will, micromanaging the universe. My will to thy will means that we're not separate from spirit. We are spirit. So just let that sink in, and just know that you are a magnificent spiritual being. You have the power. We all have the power as a collective to change things around us. And I really hope that we can learn and we can come together and make this world a better place. And before I go, I have a spiritual message or an inspirational message from the Seraphim. And what I heard earlier when I channeled this message was this: we see you. We see the way you carry more than you were ever meant to hold alone. The way you feel the sorrow of the world is in your bones. The way you sense timelines shifting, grief rising and hearts breaking, old systems collapsing. You were never weak for feeling this. Please know that. You are sensitive because you are attuned. You are tired because you are transmuting. You are overwhelmed because you are standing at the threshold of something immense. Just let that sink in. Many of you have been walking through fire without being told you were in a war. And that is the truth. We're going through fire every day without even knowing what we're up against. But it's a war between fear and awakening, between control and sovereignty, between the old world and the one now being born through you. And once again, this message really resonates with what I'm hearing and what I'm getting in the cards. We are creating a new world. There are moments when you feel like giving up, not because you don't care, but because you care so deeply that it hurts to breathe. I know what that feels like. So, beloved, you were not sent here to suffer endlessly. You were sent here to anchor light into density. And that is one of the hardest assignments in the universe. You are not meant to hold the whole planet on your shoulders. You are meant to radiate, not to bleed yourself dry. Let us take some weight now and breathe. Feel the fire in your chest, not the fire of exhaustion, but the eternal flame that existed before your body, before this lifetime, and before this earth. Because we are all older than this planet. We are eternal. And the seraphim want you to know that that flame that was there before, that flame has not dimmed. Even when you doubt, or even when you feel lost, even when you are angry or grieving, or when you're numb, you are not behind. You are not failing, and you're not forgotten. The chaos you are witnessing is the sound of chains breaking. The grief you feel is ancestral trauma leaving the field. The exhaustion is not weakness. It is the body recalibrating to higher truth. You do not have to save the world today. You only have to remain present. They also want us to know to drink water, rest when you can, touch the earth, say no when your soul says no. And that's one important thing we need to learn. And let yourself be held by the unseen. And just know that we're closer than you think. Every time you choose kindness instead of despair, every time you speak truth instead of silence, and every time you stay instead of disappearing, that is how worlds are changed. It doesn't take an enormous feat or battle for us to change the world. We can make it happen. It's not through force, but through frequency. You are loved beyond measure. You are guided beyond what you can see, and you are doing far better than you believe. And just know that the seraphim will walk with us. Just don't ever lose your faith in that there's more out there for us, but we need to come together to make this world a better place. And this is the message I want to leave you with today. Just know that we're not alone. We just feel alone, but connect with your community, connect with people who are out there, and just know that we're going to win this. Okay? We're going to come out okay. and it's going to be okay. If you want to reach out, this is my email here in big bold letters. Reach out if you want to drop a comment, or if there's something you would like to know or like to say. Go ahead and do so. My website is thenightoftheraven.com. Just look it up. I also have events coming up in the Kansas City area. So if you want to check in, I'm going to promote one probably next week or next Sunday. Valentine's weekend. We're going to be, if you're in the Kansas City area, we're going to be at Unity Village, and I hope you drop in and visit us. And for now, don't despair. And I will see you with an inspirational message or cards next week. Until then, hang in there. It's all good. It will be okay. And just know that the angels love you. Bye bye.